Hi guys, and welcome to SuttyTrades, the channel where you are following my journey as a trader to see if I can take the strategy I am using now and the strategy that I will be using and the strategy that I am now explaining all the way from kind of where I am now, which is nowhere really, to a profitable full-time trader. That's the goal. So I have challenged myself to basically take this system and see where it can take me. And I'm doing it in front of whoever will watch. So what I want to do on this in this video is just explain how I trade order blocks. So obviously, as I mentioned in my intro, I trade order blocks. That is the basis for this strategy. But in this, I'm just going to go into a little bit more detail as to how I trade order blocks. I'm not going to explain too much about what an order block is, blah blah blah. You know, there's so many videos online that you can go to and find out what order blocks are. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to first start explaining this strategy, right? So this is basically the set of rules I follow while trading order blocks. So number one is I only trade 4-hour and 1-hour order blocks. The reason I've got alerts there is because I do follow, I'm part of a community that they send out alerts. The only reason is because I don't really have time to mark up all the charts myself. I do like to do it, but it's just a time thing. So you can find your order blocks yourself. You can. I will also post a link to the community I use. You can check them out. But basically, I got this alert this morning to say that this order block had been hit. This is a 4-hour order block, right? So that right there. When it touched in on this one, that's when I got the alert, okay? So what the second thing I will do, so obviously we're marking it out on a 4-hour, that's step one. Step two, mark out my daily areas, right, of support and resistance. So what I do is I go to the daily, I will go down to the line chart because I just find it a little bit easier to mark these up on the line. And then I will just mark out nothing really here, to be honest. I'll go further back. Let's see. We have got maybe over there. I'm going to make that red. And then maybe, let's see, there's something a little bit higher. There's that over there. You can take maybe that one over there. So these, I mean, you don't have to be 100% if you know how to find areas of support and resistance. You don't have to do this step. It's just a step that I've added in fairly recently, which just basically helps. You know, it's like an extra confidence, right? When price gets to this area and everything else is lining up, just gives me a little bit more confidence in the trade. So let's have a look. So this is where price, so this had not happened yet. So we're looking at this green candle, okay? So the next one is look for next possible OB. And what I mean by that is this is a break structure. So this right here, no, I'd say this one up here. So I'll take both of these because that's such a small candle. This would probably be the next real order block that price would look at going to if it doesn't turn right now. So the reason I do that is just to you know, make me aware that if everything just breaks through here, that this is kind of where I'm looking at, or where price will look at going. I'll probably trade something else, but it just gives me something to look at, right? Once I've done that, I will look for imbalance in or around the OB. So in and around this OB, right? And it would be the start of this OB. So this sort of area here, I'll start looking on lower time frames for any imbalances there that price might be looking at coming back to. So the first thing I do is I go down to the 1 hour and I will see that there is an hour, 1 hour OB right over there, right? So let me just mark this up. 1 hour OB over there. I'm not going to mark any imbalance on this. I will only start marking imbalances on the lower time frames. So once I get to there, I will start looking for any areas of imbalance. And the thing is, I like to see imbalance in and around these support and resistance. So as you can see, there is an area of imbalance right over here. So I'm going to just mark this up right over there. Nice little imbalance. There's obviously also all of this here. So you could also mark this up. This is a very big one. So let me go further down to 1. So price probably would have already hit this. So this would have been the next kind of area to look at. But I like to see it go up to this area. And the reason I would probably wait is because my 1 hour OB is within my 4 hour OB. And it's more likely that price will push up to this 1 hour, right? So that's why I would look at that. This is again, it's just a very big area. So price is probably going to be pushing up quite strong here. So what I would do is I'll keep my focus on this area right here, right? I am going to wait for price to come there. It might turn around over here. So if I go to the 3 minute, if there's a smaller OB there, I would potentially mark it up and just see what happens around there. Come on, there we go. Okay, so let's just go back to the left. Okay, so there is, I'm going to mark up this imbalance, which is right over there. Okay, so we can keep an eye on that. And what might happen, you might end up taking the trade there, and if you do get stopped down and pushes up, you would have a second chance, right? So I have one of my other rules is I only trade 3 trades in a day, right? Either I take 3 losses and I do not trade again, I take the first one as a win, and then I'm done for the day. My target ideally is 3R for the day. So if I do win my first one, I don't trade anymore. If I lose my first one and win my second, I'm done for the day. If I lose the first 2 and I win my third, I'm done for the day. So best case scenario, I get my 3R. Worst case scenario, I lose 3R, and that's how I trade. So this would be an imbalance. Okay, so now we've got everything marked up. So now we would go back to where price first touched there. Okay, so this is where it becomes quite important as well, right? The next step of my system, my rules, is once you've found your imbalances, you wait for market structure on a lower time frame, right? What I mean by market structure is break of structure, right? A strong break of structure, like this right here would have been a very strong break of structure. This is on the 4 hour. So we go back to, let's go back to the 3 minute. We go back to where price first tapped. Okay, so price tapped here. There was no break of structure. You can see price is still moving up, right? So once we've hit here, I would then be looking at this area, right? I would kind of be wanting this to be broken, right? So let me just mark that up. I would be looking at this to be broken. And until that is broken, I'm not really interested, okay? Some people might look at this right here as a break of structure, right over there. Sorry, I mean delete that. Use this one. Some people might say, okay, that right there is a break of structure, right? Which is fine. You've just the problem is you've just pushed through a resistance, right? You've pushed above this. So you've got to be careful because this is kind of in territory for an area that it wants to keep pushing up, right? So you have to be very careful here. With my management rule, this kind of keeps you out of those trades sometimes, right? Because even if I were to enter here, right, I would have said, okay, that's a break of structure. That is my OB right there. Because once you find your structure and you find your break of structure, you would then mark up your OB on this lower time frame, and that is would have been my next step. So this would have been a 3 minute OB right there, okay, and we would have waited for price to come back, and as you can see, I would normally take it on about 20%. My stops would be top of those wicks right there, so I wouldn't have been stopped out. Once I am in a trade, I look for 1-to-1. When I hit 1-to-1, I close 50% of my trade, and then I look for a 1-to-5. So what this would have done is it would have got me my 1-to-1, and then it would have gone and stopped me out. So it would have counted as a no trade, which is the same as just not trading it because it's not a strong enough break structure, right? Sometimes you lose those. But for me, even for me, sometimes I will go into a trade too early, and my rules of closing 50% at 1R, a lot of the times will, just keep me out of trouble. So anyway, let's keep going. This pushes up, there's no, that never really breaks, pushes up. So now we've gone to this new area and we are now in the 1 hour OB, right? So now again, we're looking for a break of structure. So I would be looking at this area here as my, I want this to break. You see this right here? This is where I'm looking at breaking, right? It pushes up, it comes back down. So this now will be the area that I'm looking at breaking. And there, it breaks. It is a nice strong push down, and I like to see a strong push down to break structure, right? So what I would do here is I would mark this up right here. I would mark that up, and this is exactly where I took a trade today. Mark that up, and let me just make this my 3-minute OB, and I would have placed my order at about 20%, and my stop would have been, so I always look what the stop to the top of that is. It's only 1.7, right? Now I know we're really close to the top of the green there, so I would probably on this one, because of spread as well, I'd be looking at around 2.5, and I think I ended up playing it very safe and going for a 3 pips stop, right? And it actually, I remember this trade today, it was kind of bouncing around that area for a little while. Then we will look for 1-to-1 right over there. So I'm just going to delete this support resistance line because we have now used it. The reason is because I want to use this right here. So as I said, when my trade hits a 1-to-1, I will close 50%. There you can see close 50%. Then I will move my take profit to 5R, which is right over there, 5R, okay? Which it hits easily. That will be, so let me take that, that will be my close 100% of the trade. Okay, so there we go, close 50%, and then I like to get my trades risk-free as quickly as possible. I don't like sitting and watching a trade for too long, so I will only watch the trade for the first little bit. Most of the time, even this one today took way longer than normal. These ones will normally either stop you out or hit your 1-to-1 within 5-10 minutes, you know, if you've marked things up right and if you're watching the structure correctly. So this was a perfect example of, you know, following those steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think 7 steps. Let me go back to those quickly. So like I said, once you get that market structure happening on the lower time frame, the break of structure, you will mark out your lower time OB, which we did. We were on the 3-minute. We could have been on the 1 minute and the 5 minute. It probably would have worked on all time frames, right? Today I know I was on the 3-minute, and that's what I liked the look of, and I took that trade. And then this is very important. So I'd say of all my rules here, so you can pause this at any time and keep this. Now again, these are the rules that I have found that work for me. I'm not saying these are going to work for anyone else. The reason I'm sharing these is just to make you aware of what I'm doing. So when you see me trading in the future, you're like, what the hell is this guy doing? This is how I trade, and this is how I will keep trading, and this is the whole basis of what this channel is set around, is these rules right here. And I would say possibly the most important ones, the most important rules for me are this one right here. I mean, this one along with the wait for price to hit the imbalance, because you've got to look for that market structure at the right time. So it's important that you're waiting for price to hit an area of interest, right? Be it just a support and resistance, be it an imbalance area. So that for me is very important. And then the managing of the trade. Since I have started managing my trades like this, it has made a huge difference for me. Yeah, maybe I'm not getting some of those ones that go to 1-to-20, 1-to-30, right? Which are always nice to post on Instagram, or oh, look, you know, check this out. At the end of the day, what I'm looking for is consistency. Consistency. I'm not greedy. I'm not trying to take more out of the market than the market's willing to get. Everyone wants more, you know, and I get that. And that's where psychology comes into it. You know, I'm trying to flip the whole way of thinking to make this a strategy that's, you know, stands the test of time. So these two are very important. as you can see, the first one that I wouldn't have taken, but I showed you, even if I took that trade, it would have just stopped me out after I'd already hit the 50%. So it just becomes a no trade, right? Um, with this, I always get 3R. 3R is my target for the day. I trade 3 trades in a day. So that's basically how I trade, guys. So you will see I hit this trade today, and there was another trade too. I actually had 2 trades today. The reason I traded twice today, I know I said I normally will only look for my 3R, is because I was a little bit behind on my trial challenge for FTMO. So I just wanted to get back to. So I'm now back to a point where if I stop now, I would still get my free retake. I was actually the first 3 days I was messing around with this, and I was actually trying to get myself low enough that I kind of challenged myself. So today was the kind of the get back to my strategy, and let's see if I can get back to either a free retake. I've still got 5 days, so we are going to still push for that pass. So I hope you guys. I know it went really fast. The whole point of this video was not really a this is a strategy and take notes because I want you to trade the strategy. No, this was just more of an explanation as to how I'm trading. So when my future videos come out about me doing live trades or trading every day, this is how I'm trading. Just so you guys are aware. Okay, guys. So that's that. I'm going to leave this there. And I will see you guys in the next trade, which will probably be the breakdown of some of my live trades today. There was also a really cool breakdown on a Bitcoin USD trade that I didn't take, but it was an alert that came in, and I've never really traded Bitcoin, so I thought, let me just check to see how it would have gone. And it's really interesting. So I'm going to post that one as well, so keep an eye out for those, guys. If you like what you see, please subscribe. I'd love to, take this channel to the next level. If not, it's just going to be a journal for me. But yeah, I hope I do get a few people that just follow for, just for interest sake, to see where I go with this strategy. So the goal is to, number one, pass a challenge, get funded, and see how far I can take this. So yeah, guys, I will catch you again in the next one. Thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.